Hey, Shalom, Mesha. I want to start off with souls, but give no praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. As always, Yahweh, that's the true name of whom the world in English calls God, Jehovah, Yahweh, right? His real name is Yahweh, right? And his son's name, whom the world in English calls Jesus Christ, his son's true name is Yahweh Shai, right? So yeah, we're gonna get into it. This is a quick one, which I did actually find quite interesting, right? From this, it says, instead of rap battles, the ancient Maya held pun battles, right? Which, if I'm not mistaken, the Mayans, I believe that's Issachar. It's definitely one of the Northern Kingdom tribes there, right? And it was just, I found it quite interesting that they likened that to rap battles, right? Because that's the Southern Kingdom, right? Southern Kingdom representing, rather consisting of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Why they call the Southern Kingdom? Because when you look at a map, Judah, Benjamin was at the bottom, and obviously Levi was dispersed throughout the tribes, right? But yeah, the Northern Kingdom for the most part were all, well, in the north, innit? But yeah, so let's get into it. Right. So yeah, well, us in the know, we know ultimately, when we see, like, the Latinos, whatever, what have you, which, man, he just Jakes, man. Right. That's my brother, man. We can see the spirit. We can see that we have the same spirit as them, right? And although it's just jokes or whatever, right? But it is a true saying, right? Because what was rap, it's just what poetry at the end of the day, right? And that some of the best, rap, good similes, right? Good metaphors, right? And then when what's a pun? A pun is a play on words, right? And some of the best, rappers will play them words, and then you put play on words, and you're thinking about, you might hear this song, right? And then 2, 3 years later, you're like, oh shit, excuse my French, you're like, oh man, I just clocked what that rapper meant when he said that particular line in that song. Right, so ultimately, basically showing you, right, that there are certain things that we do that are exactly the same, right? Okay, and it's things that require flavor, right? Because this is the thing, right? The children of Israel, we're the flavor of the earth, man, right? I think about, there was a Dulux advert, the paint company Dulux, right, where basically the world was grey, right? But then you had people who had, rather, color was outlawed. Okay, so the world was great, but you had certain people, right, that met under cover of darkness, right? Well, basically met in secret, and then in that place it was life. But what did you see? They're all having fun, if I remember correctly. They're all dancing and everything, right? But that's Israel, right? Without us, the world is grey, right? Grey and devoid of life. Okay, this is Matthew 5:13. Ye are the salt of the earth, right? And wait, when you cook it, man, I've made this mistake before, man. You think you salted the food, right? But you forget to salt it or whatever, right? You put the herbs on them, put a little bit of oregano, some rosemary, some thyme, right? Some black pepper, whatever, right? Whatever style you're feeling that day, right? You're all looking at your food like, damn, that's gonna taste good, right? And you bite into it, and you're like, oh man, I forgot to put salt on it. Right, it's just despite the fact you put all of these other different, good and tasty herbs, if there's no salt, hey, forget about it, man. Right, there's just you're gonna be eating it. You're like, yo, man, something's missing from this, right? But that's Israel, okay? And that's our people. That's how we are. That is our addition to the world. Flavor, right? Above, and that. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Because we are the number one with the Most High's firstborn, right? But basically, what I was trying to say there is, look, we are the salt of the earth, man. There's a scripture say that. Right, it says, but if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is henceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. Okay, so it says, yeah, it's basically, you know, we're the salt of the earth. Okay, so let's carry on. So Romans 8:16, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirits that our spirit right? That we are the children of the Most High, okay? And this is how we know. You might look at the case of the Israelite foreigners. How do you know that guy's an Israelite? So, like, friends, you see people getting annoyed at. I remember when like Ed Sheeran won one of them one of them things, man. Ed Sheeran and Macklemore. People are, oh, these white people, whatever. No, but then if you don't know, you're like, man, they're just Israelites, man. That's what it is. Right? It's the beauty of this what do you call it? The thing about the Israelite foreigners and why it's such a stumbling block, because you look at Ed, you're like, man, this is some NEE, right? You might see him or whatever, you might listen to his studio music from his like first couple of albums, you see, man, this is some NEE, right? But then when you see him doing his his live sessions, his studio sessions, you're like, man, this guy's a Jake, right? Forgot the one. What was the name of this one? Yeah, he has one 9 minute one, where basically he's just in the studio session on his own. All he's got is a guitar and a loop pedal, and he makes an entire beat live, right? And he's playing it, he's looping it himself, and he's rapping on top of that. And then you look at that, you're like, man, this is a Jake, right? And that's how it is with these, with the Israelite foreigners, and that's how it is with the Northern Kingdom, right? We know that they're Israelites because what the curses fell upon them. Also, scriptures also say, was it roughly paraphrasing, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were pressed together. Where? In that land of America, right? That's the big in these E's in America. They know that's the biggest crime of that land, right? The fact that they killed the natives, right, and performed slavery on the children of Israel, right? Rather enslaved the children of Israel. Okay. So yeah, that's how we know they got the same spirit we do. Okay. And obviously the tribes all have a different style with their spirit, whatever, what have you. But they're just certain things that we do, or as a nation, what flavors. Okay. As that on the carnal level is a way to identify an Israelite. I remember when the Apostle Paul said, man, I can tell Jay, man, ask him to dance, right? Because the thing is, if a Jay can dance, right? So if someone can dance good, they're an Israelite. That's just the end all be all, right? But now you might be like so and so can't dance, but that doesn't mean if you can't dance, you're not an Israelite. That's just looking at it. You're just being simple there, right? Just to hit the nail straight. You're just being simple. That's not what the apostle's saying. The apostle's not saying every Israelite ever is gonna dance, right? Because you're gonna get certain Israelite that just can dance, but so that can that dance real good, right? But you're gonna have certain other Israelites that their thing is business, right? And when you hear them talk, right, their business mind just does things, and you're like, yo, how the hell do you do that? But that's that inspiration, right? If I remember correctly, inspirare. I know the last bit is like spirit, spirare, right? So basically, Lord opens your eyes to see certain things, okay? Because at the end of the day, man can receive nothing except to be given from the Most High. That's Ezekiel 37:16. So, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take up another stick and write upon it for Joseph and the stick of Ephraim and for all the house of Israel, his companions. Right, so one stick for the southern kingdom and one stick for the northern kingdom. Okay, it says, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And this is what we're seeing right now, right? Because once again, you have the majority of people who see that, and they might find it funny, right? But there is heavy significance to that, right? And that is the fact that we are one nation of people, right? But in these last days, right, we're gonna go from being this bit or that bit, right? But you're gonna start seeing, right, the children of Israel coming together as one and being like, yo, we're all, hey, you're an Israelite, I'm an Israelite, right? All over the world, right? The great millstone has gone global. Okay. So yeah, that's what this is going into, right? The fact that we're in these last days, we're gonna become one again. Okay. No longer are we gonna be two houses, we're gonna become one again, man. Man, it's a beautiful thing. You've been seeing that all worldwide, right? You camps of brothers from all the tribes, man. Encompassing both the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. And this is Isaiah 11:13, right? It says, and the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Right, and that's that's playing into the point, man. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim, despite E's best efforts, right? Which is why they push so much agenda, to try to keep that wedge between the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. But hey, the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua is stronger, right? And regardless of everything that E's doing, we gonna become one, okay? So you lost, Esau, you lost, man. So as always, Lord's with us edifying. So just to recap, he says, instead of rap battles, the ancient Maya held pun battles, right? Which, just shows you just the same people, man. So, yeah, till the next time we say shalom.